Hi, I'm Asia and welcome back to the Strange Days Diaries and welcome to my official van tour of my cute little 1990 Chevy Astro van named Spec. I'm so excited to dive into and show you all the details of my van. This van tour is long overdue, and before I hop into the official tour, I just wanted to give a couple quick little details and facts about my van. So I bought this van in 2020. I have been living and traveling out of it for the last 4 years and I have a great time doing it. I absolutely love van life, and this Astro van is definitely the best van for me. I love how small and compact it is. I love that it can fit in pretty much every single parking space, parking garage, doesn't matter. And it goes off-road, it's all-wheel drive, it's perfect, seriously. The van interior build is finally at a point that I absolutely love. Sorry if it's a bit windy, I'm trying to keep the camera out of the wind, but let me actually come in a little bit, sorry. But yes, I'm so excited to show you guys the van. So I guess without further ado, let's get on to this van tour. Alright, so I just hopped in the cab. I figure we can start the tour from the front of the car and move our way back. So this is my beautiful cab. I love her very, very much. I redid my headliner up here in the cab area and I filmed a whole video doing it. It was extremely hard, but I love how it turned out. I will link that video below if you're interested. But yes, this is a cute little cab. This is a 1990 Chevy Astro, so it's a bit old school. I'm absolutely obsessed with all the meters here and how old they are. I think it's just a little more fun to look at this more old school meter and speedometer and everything than the newer ones. And then of course I keep all my little tiny trinkets up here in the dash as well. I do have a tape player and it does work, but my speakers are blown unfortunately in the van, and I am currently saving up to replace the speakers so that I can use my tape player because I absolutely love using tapes and playing with tapes. And I do have a couple tapes down here I will show you in a second, but yes, it does work. If you're a longtime viewer of the channel, then you would know I'm obsessed with stickers. I absolutely love just decorating my dash with different stickers. Right now I have this La Luz sticker that I'm loving. If you've ever listened to them, they're an awesome band, I believe out of Cleveland, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it's an all-female band, which I love. And then I have my cute little toy van here, my little lucky cat, and then this little trinket I got in Mexico City. And then up here I have my tiny disco ball, my lucky rabbit's foot, and the original tag that came on the van. And also I will give you a backstory on where and how I got this van at the very end of the video if you're interested on knowing exactly how I obtained it, how I found it, why I chose the Astro and all that. Stick to the end and I will get into that at the end of the video. Over here I have Spec's original license plate. The van is from Oregon and I thought it'd be fun to just keep the original license plate up here. And then over in the passenger door, of course, I have my little teddy bear. I have a window shade that I put up in really hot areas or when I'm in the desert, and I also store my umbrella up here. In my little glove box I have a couple stickers, and these are where I keep my tapes. I have some Sting Pump Rock for one. I found this tape literally on the street. Bruce Springsteen's. I have my charging cord. This is my little bag I keep my quarters in, and some sunglasses. Also, a lot of people ask me about my seat covers. These are real sheepskin covers, and I believe I got them on Amazon actually about a year ago. They are a little expensive, but they're definitely worth it. They keep me warm in the winter when I'm cold and traveling, and they actually keep me pretty cool in the summer. So they are definitely a purchase I would highly recommend. I really love them, and they've lasted me a long time, and I think they'll last me a pretty long time in the future. All right, I think it's about time we head to the back of the van. Welcome to the back of little old Spec. This is my living space, so let me give you the grand tour. Obviously, this is my bed. I have lots of fun pillows, and I actually store a lot of clothes in these pillows. I store clothes in the zebra print one, and then the other striped one, and then the red one and the moon one is just regular pillows. I have some art up here and a little fun mirror. I also have my travel hangers here and some clips. This is my towel for drying off just anything, mostly dishes, and then I keep my spray bottle right here. Obviously, I have the iconic disco ball. I love this thing, and it's taken a lot of engineering to keep it up here, all thanks to my dad, but it is one of my prized possessions in the van. It's definitely lost a couple mirrors, but it is still kicking it. Over here, I'm gonna close this door because it's a little windy. Right here, I have my beautiful handmade cabinet that my dad helped me make a couple months ago. I'll link that video below. We did a bunch of van renovations, and it was super fun. He helped me make this cabinet, some underbed drawers, and my swing out table, which I'll show you in a bit. This is where I keep the majority of my clothes. They're just in here, and this door is held up by this kind of arm. Here, I'll show you just one sec. So this arm kind of like swings out like that and holds the door open so that I can access my clothes hands-free and not having to keep this door up so that I can access the clothes. I'm sure you'll also notice I have a bunch of string lights around the van, and it just adds a fun mood to the van at night. I absolutely love these string lights, and they were definitely a good choice. I've had them since day one in the van, and I've never changed them. Moving on to my desk area. This is kind of a big storage desk area, and this is my only countertop space in the back, but it works really well for me and I love it. This is a swing out table that my dad helped me create. It was a design that I thought of, and then my dad, being the incredible person he is, helped me make my vision come to life. So this swinging out adds an amazing extra amount of counter space for me. It's just been a total game changer in the van. Back here, I call this my spice rack. It doesn't have any spices in it. It just has random things, but it's been huge help as far as space goes and like storage. I just have a couple cups of things back here, Sharpies, I have sunglasses, I have a reading light. I do have not spices, but like salt and pepper, that kind of thing here. I have all of my posters here, storage in here. Oh, over here, this is where I keep my water bottle, wine if I have any, my 8-ball, obviously, that lives back here too. And I also store a lot of things on the perimeter edges of the bed that you can't really see all the time, but they're just kind of stuffed back there like books and journals. And then inside is where I keep all my other stuff. So it looks a little crazy right now, but I keep all of my cookware basically in here, or most of my cookware in here. I have my pot and pan in the back there, plates and bowls here. This is my like way I make coffee and heat up water in the morning, my pour over, paper towels. This is what I call my junk drawer. I just have a lot of random stuff in here. Ibuprofen, these are my utensils, chargers, measuring cups, chopsticks, stuff like that. And then over here I have my camp stove, and then on top of it I have my laptop, some trash bags, and just other miscellaneous items on top of a tray. Also, this is a butane stove, by the way. And then under the curtain, everyone always asks what's under this curtain. So I have my trash can, I have extra drinking water, and then I also have my Goal Zero power station, and I have about 200 watts of solar on top, like mounted on top of the van, and then it's just hooked to my Goal Zero power station, and that's what powers literally everything in my van as far as appliances and like charging my phone, laptop. It also runs my fridge, and it's just worked out really, really well for me, and that's all I've really needed. And speaking of fridge, this is where I keep my fridge. I'll pull it out here in a sec and show you. So this is my cute little Iceco fridge. Of course, I threw some stickers on here, and it's pretty full at the moment, but it has worked beautifully for me. I've had it for the past couple years, and it's a total game changer. I had a cooler before, and like if you're in van life and have done the cooler thing, then you would know it's pretty tough to maintain with the melting ice almost on a daily basis and all of that. But I mean, it's fine, it works really well, but it's just been such a game changer to have the fridge, and it's just been amazing, and I love it so much. All right, so I just hopped on top of the bed to kind of show you this part of the van. I have my cute little cruiser board here just strapped to the back of the passenger seat. This bag is where I keep all of my dirty laundry. Over here I have my spare gas canister in case I go off-roading somewhere where I know I'm not going to have access to gas stations for like 100 or 200 plus miles or however long. Like when I'm in Death Valley, I'll fill that up. And then down here is a big beautiful drawer full of lots of stuff, so let me pull it out and show you. All right, so this is the drawer. On one half of the drawer, these are all my toiletries for like bath and shower stuff, toothbrush, all of that. That's all stored on this side of the drawer. Then over here is all of my dry food, so just simply that: cooking oil, dry food, soy sauce, granola, you know, you name it. If it's dry food, it is in here. So that is what's in this big old drawer. And I think that about wraps it for like the main living space. Oh, I didn't touch on my headliner. So I talked about the front headliner, how I redid that myself because the original headliner fabric was just drooping all over. And so I redid the headliner in the front myself, but this white headliner, I believe it's beadboard, and my dad helped me put it up years ago, and it was a ton of work to like cut it to the perfect shape of the van, but it's been a huge game changer as far as like my headliner drooping on me. I absolutely hated that, and I like the kind of cream color. I think it brightens the van a lot, and it's super lightweight when it comes to gas mileage and just like weight in general in the van. So yeah, that is my headliner. But I think it's about time we go to the back of the van and I show you the garage area. Okay, so when you open the back doors, this is what you see. Obviously the big, beautiful disco ball just gleaming with all her glory. Then under the bed, I have two big drawers that my dad and I custom made together very recently. Again, those vlogs will be linked below. But over here, kind of stuffed in this corner, I have my hair dryer, towels, and it's just a couple random things. Like I have a hatchet back there, and it's just a space that I've just learned to stuff a couple things. And then this is kind of like my big storage drawer. I'll open it up in a second and show you. And here is storage again. I guess these are like the big storage things that I don't have to access all the time. I just keep back here. And then over on this side, I have some spare oil and like my oil, just things, just oil, you know, fun. All right, so I just pulled the drawer out for you guys, but it's just full of like a lot of storage stuff. These are my tools. I have my stickers, my drill, just lots of general storage stuff is what's kind of just stuffed in this drawer, paracord, that kind of stuff. And then in this drawer, I have my backpack. I am a traveler. I do van life full time, but I do love a good flight or travel or trip outside of the van, on the train, plane, you name it, it doesn't matter. So this is my backpack for that. And then I also store just travel things in general in the backpack when it's not in use, like my airplane pillow and blankets and stuff like that. Then underneath it, I have my camp chair. I have a couple extra jackets back here, just big bulky things, my hiking boots, stuff like that. Oh, and another thing that a lot of people ask me about are my curtains. So my mom and I handmade these curtains together, and basically all we did was we just took, I think, felt fabric, and we measured every single window in the van and then cut the exact shape of that window out of felt plus like an inch on the end so that it overlapped the window slightly. And then we drilled the felt. This is like so bootleg, but this is literally how we did it. So then we drilled the top end of the felt to the top end of every window, and then we put these little ties. I'll show you all detailed in a second. I just wanted to explain it first, but we put these ties and then Velcro around the perimeter. So when the curtains are rolled up, they're tied with just simple ties and just rolled up like that. But then when they're down at night, I have these Velcro spots to just kind of secure it down up against the window. So like these are the ties that I was talking about. And then when it's rolled down, I have these Velcro spots that match up perfectly to the Velcro that's on the edge of the curtain. And then they're just kind of stuck down that way. And I just hopped into the van one more time because I wanted to also note my cab curtain. A lot of people ask about my cab curtain and how it was made, and it was made out of that same felt fabric that my curtains were made out of. We, again, just measured the space and cut the exact length that I wanted for the curtain. And then this is simply paracord that is just kind of looped onto this eye bolt that we drilled into the side and then just strung the paracord really tight across this area. And that is how I have my beautiful cab curtain. And I think that just about does it. Please let me know if somehow I forgot something, or if you have any questions about my van build, any little details that I forgot. I'm sure I forgot something, which I'm so sorry, but please ask me in the comments below and I'll definitely reply to your comment. But I guess that's about the van tour, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a ton of fun travels coming up on the channel soon, but I wanted to get this van tour out for you guys since you guys were requesting it. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Okay, if you stuck around for this long in the video, thank you so much. You're a freaking real one. Comment below and let me know if you stuck around to the story of how I obtained my cute little van named Spec. So if you're an avid watcher of the channel, then you would know that my family is also nomadic. My mom, dad, and brother. I was actually the late bloomer, and I got a van after all of them did. And I was just like very inspired seeing them travel, and I really wanted to do it myself and get my own van, which is why I decided to do it. And I remember one day I was hanging out with my dad and telling him I want a van, but I don't know exactly what kind of van. And we wrote a little pros and cons list of exactly what I was wanting and looking for. And it came down to the size. I wanted it to be a small minivan. I wanted it to be as stealthy as possible. Obviously, we all know stealth doesn't actually exist, but you can make it a little stealthy by it not being a classic camper van or a big white van. And that's another thing. I did not want a white van. And just going through the pros and cons list, we decided together that actually an Astro van would be a really good choice for me. They're super robust. I wanted an all-wheel drive and I love the size of it. And so that's when we started looking. I would say it was maybe, I don't know, maybe 4 months, 5 months of looking online, just on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, that kind of thing for an Astro van. And again, this was back in 2020. And my dad actually came across a listing listing for this van in Oregon. And at the time when he sent me the listing, I was actually traveling in New York City, and I opened up the listing and was just absolutely in love with the van as soon as I saw it on Facebook Marketplace. And I told my dad, like, yes, I really want this van, but I'm on the East Coast, the exact opposite side of the country than Oregon. But my dad was in Washington State at the time, and he thought it was a good enough bet as far as like based on the listing for him to actually take the time to drive down to Oregon and check out the van himself. So he did. And huge shout out to my dad for doing that, like seriously, because it ended up being totally worth it. He went out to Oregon, and the van was actually in Prineville, Oregon, and it used to be a Les Schwab work van out there in Prineville. And so it was basically mechanics that just like worked and used it as a work van. So they kept it in really great shape mechanically, and it just seemed to check all of the boxes as to the kind of van that I was wanting. And so I ended up pulling the trigger, wiring my dad money, and buying it without ever even seeing it myself, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, but it ended up being worth it, thank God. So yeah, I bought the van, my dad drove it back to Washington, and we started at a family member's house for like, I think a month or two before I could finally fly up to Washington and get it. And when I flew up to Washington to get it, I spent like a week, maybe 4 to 5, 6 days with my dad every single day building out the van. And this was our first ever build. On the interior, we made the bed, we made the little storage desk area, but that was about it. I didn't have any custom drawers, I didn't have the swivel out table, I didn't have the fun cool upper cabinet. I just kind of had a very basic build to begin with, and then I hit the road. And that's literally how I got Spec. Again, like I said earlier in the video, I have done about 3 or 4 different van upgrades to it. I added the swivel table, I've done like obviously the custom drawers underneath the bed, also ended up getting a fridge, which has been a total game changer, because for I think a year or two I only had a cooler, which again is not the end of the world, but it's just like so luxurious having a fridge. And yeah, the van has served me super well. I'm in love with her. I'm in love with van life. I love life on the road. I'm the kind of person that gets bored very, very quickly, and van life has just suited me so well. I love it. Only thing I need now is a cute little dog as a little travel companion. So I'm hoping to get that soon. We'll see. I am a very spontaneous person. I also love traveling in general, like international travel. I also just like spontaneously hopping on a train or something, and I think adding a dog to the mix would complicate things a little bit, but maybe complicate things in a good way, you know? So we'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, again, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you made it all the way to the video, please comment and let me know. And thank you so much for listening to my story. And I guess without further ado, I think that's about it. Safe travel, guys, and I will see you on the road. Peace.